What is going on? How's everybody doing today? My name is Suge, and of course, my main man Colin is here with me. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties on my end, and yeah, it's one of those days where just things not going right. How you doing today, Colin?
I am here and present and ready to talk some football.
That's amazing. I'm so happy that you're here to talk some football. Once again, I apologize, technical difficulties, and I am still having them, which is really starting to irritate me. But we will push forward. We will push through, and we will do what we can to get through this nonsense of difficulties. Uh, quick shout out to the people waiting in the chat. Ravens Online, Rodney, Lunch Break Hot Take, the Buckman himself. I hope you guys are all having a great night. Appreciate you all for coming and hanging out. Really do appreciate it. But Colin,
So,
I know you got some stuff you want to talk about, so let's get into it.
yeah. I only got a few minutes to be here tonight. I got some crazy shit going on, so we just got to, do what we can. But the Ravens played a football game, and it didn't completely suck. And our streak continues of 21 straight preseason victories. I
Are you
wanted
proud of? Are you proud of? Are you proud of that?
No, because we haven't won a Super Bowl in the 6 years, so it doesn't fucking matter. The last time the Ravens lost a preseason game, Malik Willis was a junior in high school. The Chargers were in San Diego and the Rams were in St. Louis. LeBron was a Cav for the second time. KD was a member of the Thunder. CP3 was a Clipper, and Paul George was a Pacer. Game of Thrones had 3 seasons left, and Vine was still downloadable. So we've come a long way.
Wow, a fine reference. Amazing.
You get it all here, folks. But yeah, I thought
Yeah.
everybody played pretty well. It was a 23-10 game. Huntley came in. We know exactly what Huntley was going to do. Honestly, it's kind of a joke for him to be out there during preseason with the defenses he was put up against in the final 8 games of last season. He was playing against some legit, postseason talent. And for him to be able to just come in and play, a few series was pretty great. I thought he looked pretty good. Always serviceable. He's never looked bad. He's made mistakes. He's never had like a fully bad game. He's had bad moments, in my opinion. Honestly, I feel better about him as our backup than I did when RG3 was there. So nice to see. What was this guy's first name? Anthony Brown. He did a pretty good job too. He went 10 and 15, threw for 117 yards. The Ravens quarterbacks, who knew? Our backup quarterbacks used to be like, watching Trace McSorley go out there in years past was not the best. So feeling like you actually have people that want to go out there and play the quarterback position is pretty nice. It's nice seeing Mike Davis in there. Talked about him last week. He had a touchdown. Looked pretty good on his 5 carries. Other than that, we cut Corey Clement. So he only had 4 rushes for 17 yards. His longest was 8. And he got cut today. So Ravens are down to 87 players. I think you got to get down to like 85 by the second preseason game, something like that. It was just it's just been a weird kind of cut process because we've had so many guys coming back from PUP that you just don't know. Like, no guy knows if he's safe because they don't know when these guys are coming back from the PUP list. So like Marcus Peters came back today. That means an extra player had to be cut in order for Marcus Peters to come back onto the field today. So there's all this. I just feel bad for some of those guys that are out there looking for jobs and they're sitting there worried about all the injuries we have coming back. But the receivers, I thought everybody looked pretty serviceable for what they were asked to do. Nobody ran any, like crazy shit. A lot of the stuff that was pretty impressive was what these guys were doing after the catch. And that's honestly, as a Ravens fan, pretty important that you're able to make moves after the catch because a lot of our plays are shorter passes and you got to be able to do something with it afterwards. That was something that Hollywood really never got insanely comfortable with, was the ability to switch quickly from being deep ball guy to being, short ball screen pass guy. real fast, and we needed him to be both guys, and there was just something, couldn't click, and he would just get swamped he would get swamped 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage or some shit like that. But it's another Ravens preseason game, baby. I don't know what to say other than we won. It's cool to see the Ravens win. I think the defense looked great. Tony Jefferson was out there playing almost 3 quarters. I was like, bro, you're old. Go sit down. You're good. But I was seeing that across the league. That was a trend I saw all weekend, was veterans on defense really sticking it out through this first preseason game for most teams. If you did play and you were a defensive veteran, you stuck it out much longer than the offensive guys did.
Right, for sure. I know on our team, one of the Pickens got pulled after the first quarter, and he's a rookie. That doesn't ever happen.
Seen enough. We saw the catch.
Yeah,
the world's seen the catch.
So they were like, nope, go sit down. You're good. But speaking of your wide receiver core, you did have some injuries though. You do have some injuries there. Prochet was hurt. Maybe he might miss some time. We know you had some offensive line injuries. Your wide receiver core is becoming a little thin. Do you bring in a veteran, T.Y. Hilton?
We're not going to start this again. James
I'm asking.
Injury does not mean let's open up the veteran wide receiver. If we weren't going to bring one in, then we're not going to bring one in. James Prochet is not going to tip Eric DaCosta. He's a great player. Tylen getting hurt is not great, but Isaiah
Wallace got hurt.
Tylen Wallace. Him getting hurt. What's his name? Ben Victor. Is that his name? Yeah. Benjamin, but it's B-I-N Jamin. It's not B-E-N Jamin. He's pretty legit. He went to Ohio State. He could actually really be good. He's a bigger guy and we just need guys that want to be there. That was my thing last year. So if you want to be a part of the offense, I think we got guys that could run this offense.
Yeah, but I think the question, because we had talked about this before, where you said we don't know what this wide receiver core can do. So, it's what do you do? They're unproven. Do you like we said? Do you let them go out and do the job, or
you get T.Y. Hilton? That's fine. I'm just not going to sit around and listen to people talk about oh, T.Y.'s not getting a target share. I'm like, yeah, cool. I just don't. My main reason behind not really giving a shit if we do is I don't know how much better I'm gonna feel about it. You could tell me any of those guys we went down the list last week of who was available,
and there's nobody you say come in and you don't
suddenly turn me on, right? Nobody on that list would shut y'all up about the Ravens wide receiver.
Because didn't, correct me if I'm wrong, Julio just went to Tampa, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's off the market for you guys. OBJ's
we never really had a Julio guy.
No, but I'm saying you can't get him because he's going to Tampa. And OBJ's being recruited by the Bills, I believe, heavily.
Heavy.
Yeah, heavy. I'm hearing heavy that he's being recruited by the Bills.
A big recruit. A big recruiter for them.
So you're right. There is nobody on this wide receiver free agency that you can bring in and say, okay, this is gonna make the team better, or it's gonna plug a hole for a minute until we get back some of our injured players on receivers. So my question to you, Colin, is what do the Ravens do? Do they just stick it down?
I need everyone in the chat to answer me this question. What is the difference right now with another first-round wide receiver as our number one, and the receiving core we've had the last few years? Willie Snead? What's the difference? There's really not a difference. So I've just been living and existing in this world for 3 years of the Ravens having this, merry-go-round of wide receivers. What's the difference? What are we talking about? You're acting like this is something new. This isn't new. This is how it's been since Lamar's been in town. Lamar's never had somebody that people would describe as a show-out number one wide receiver, because he doesn't throw to people like that. He does. His name's Mark Andrews. I'm just going to keep on tugging on that boat that you guys say here so much and act like Mark Andrews doesn't count as part of the receiving core and that the receiving core is trash. Mark Andrews is, per PFF, the number 1 tight end in all of football last year.
Yeah. I understand. I understand that, but at the end of the day, teams start keying in on that,
Cool, keyed in on it last year, and he still had more receiving yards.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right. So
yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. So overall, what was your diagnosis of the preseason game? I know, again, it's the first preseason of the game, so we can't really do a lot with it. You can only take it for what it's worth. What did you take from it? What do you feel?
4 guys with 4 or more targets. He had 4 targets. He caught every single one of them. Shamar Bridges had 5 targets, caught 4 of them. Mekhi Polk had 8 targets, caught 6 of them. Ben Victor had 5 targets, caught 4 of them. So like these are guys just coming out of the woodworks for the Ravens. Bunch of rookies coming in, trying to prove their shot and trying to make this roster. And obviously spots are available. Like Likely's fantastic. Right? Likely is great. He's huge. He went up and snatched a ball over one of their linebackers, and it was one of those super contested where the linebacker's on top of you, and then when you fall to the ground, you're on top of him, but you have possession, and he wouldn't give the possession up. The guy was fighting. Like, he was fighting for a job. But like, bro, your job's safe. I thought he was great. Honestly, my highlight of the night was watching Travis Jones. He's phenomenal. He's going to be stellar. There's like this 8-second clip of all of his, like the way his big ass body can move on the defensive line in a small area and affect the runner. He was dictating runners' direction on every play they allowed him to be involved in it. And it was really impressive. And he's a big motherfucking dude. So to line him up next to Michael Pierce, about 4 games deep, start feeling a little more cocky about a defensive line with, Calais Campbell, Michael Pierce, and now Travis Jones. I like that a lot. I mean, they look really good. And Kyle Hamilton got a fumble recovery. That was pretty great too. I'm big on Kyle Hamilton. I mean, that's going to be a huge thing. If he can be that guy and, just take away one little quadrant of the field again and not have to worry about it, be fantastic. Yeah, I'm totally on board with this. This is Likely equals Kyle Pitts light. Yeah.
That's good. No, that's
light of hype. But
light of hype.
Yeah. He's legit. Don't sleep on those Coastal Carolina kids, the Chanticleers.
There you go. So I mean, like you said, the Ravens got their 21 consecutive win in preseason. You guys look pretty good. It feels good. What are you looking forward to the next preseason? Next week.
I want to see the little white boy from Alabama. Put his ass out there. I want to see him out there in the slot. That boy was dominating like linebacking cores in the SEC. Let's see what this little white boy can do. All right. We went out there, you bring him in. Talent's talent. Alabama, winners win. That's what I like. I like that one. We really had a bad run when we were like, let's go after the Alabama players until Marlon Humphrey. Marlon really broke that streak because it was not looking great for a while with CJ Mosley being like, oh, we got Alabama in the house. I was like, I don't know about that one. Now, let's bring that ship back around because we kind of switched over to LSU. We were like, oh, we're going to just start getting some LSU guys and switch it up. Let's get the Alabama blood back in there. See if we can do it. I like Bolden. Get him in
there. Ramp for a little bit, please.
I got you. You know who looked good? Malik Willis. I like Malik Willis. He looked composed. I'm not going to say he looked great. I'm just going to say he didn't look scared. Kyle Hamilton blew a sack. Totally blew a sack on him. That ended up in Malik Willis doing a little Tootsie Toe dance around the outside into the end zone. That was pretty difficult to watch. I need Kyle Hamilton to watch that about 12,000 more times than he probably already has since it happened. That was like, if he would have gotten that sack, Ravens Nation would have just exploded. The Kyle Hamilton hype. would have just been insane. Yeah, lunch break. Travis closes quick. That's a big boy. That's a big boy just covering large amounts of space very fast. And if he's able to actually provide some depth in terms of, pushing the line, oh, that's going to be insane. Let's see what Mr. J says. I mean, all likely has to do is score more TDs than Pitts did last year, and he'll be all right. That would be nice. That would be nice, but it wouldn't take much. Yeah, Slade is injured as well. That's just fucking Ravens, man. What are we gonna do? We can't win. No matter what we do, we can't win. We try. We do our best. We build up the hype so well.
Sorry.
The hype train for
Sorry,
the Ravens
I had to be a
hard.
father right now. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay.
So,
Hey, Justice Hill's still a thing, guys. He had 3 rushes for 11 yards. But you know what I really came here to talk about?
What's up?
Kenny Pickett and George Pickens. That's what I really came here to talk about.
I mean, I'll say this about Steeler fans. They keep jabbing at the Ravens fans, going, You missed out on this guy.
Window got it done. Now a flip to McFarland. Following
3 times he could have taken him, but who knew this would be?
Hell, the Cardinals traded for Hollywood Brown instead of picking him.
Yeah,
he was right there. If I'm a Cardinals fan, I'd probably be pissed. I'm not gonna lie, Buck. I'd like to know your thoughts. No, Buck. Here's the only reason why I want the Ravens to lose the next preseason game is because your stadium is where the Super Bowl is, and I want a little chip on their shoulders, and I want them to be like, we are going back there in February to take the dub. Little things.
There you go. You and Buck can talk about playing each other next week. So yeah, before I know you, like you said, you have to get out of here. What else? Is there anything else you want to talk about the Ravens? Like I said, what do you look? You said you wanted to see.
Well, we're not going to see Lamar all off. We're not going to see Lamar, so he won't be in until week 1. So he'll just be on the sidelines looking like a badass with his visor turned upside down. I think it's actually a dope look. So I think everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to turn around.
Yeah, I did know that Lamar said he's not going to be talking to.
He said he's going to cut off all contract stuff until, or he's going to cut it off at the beginning of the regular season.
Yeah, so let's see. Hopefully, they get something done before then, and see what happens. I mean, sure. Pickens, Pickens.
Sure,
Pickens is that. Let me tell you something.
It's not as cool as you think it is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think this whole thing, like, we're going to find out, because I don't think we've ever been in a situation in the NFL where players have been more intentionally paired together because they went to school together. Like, Jacksonville, you have Travis Etienne and Trevor Lawrence, Clemson backfield, national championship Clemson winning backfield. You got Tua and you got Jalen Waddle, national championship winning connection. You got Devonta Smith and you got Jalen Hurts connection, right? Like, some of them were fun, but like they weren't earth-shattering connections. Etienne didn't even play. He had like a game and he got injured. So like, and the main one now is Devontae Adams and Derek Carr. Now it's just a thing that's cool, I guess. I remember when the Colts did it and they drafted Andrew Luck first, and then they went around in the second round and they got his college roommate, the tight end. Insane. And I was like, oh. Did they do that on purpose? But now you got Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow paired together. That's fucking magical. So that's probably the best one of like they've already done it, and I've seen it happen. So
and they got a perfect run.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've seen a lot of stuff about Chase falling in fantasy drafts this week. He was up at like the 6th pick in drafts about a month ago. Now he's trickled his way on down to like 9 or 10. Interesting.
That's very interesting. Maybe we got to get a segment for fantasy football on here.
That's my shit. I've done like 5 fantasy drafts in the last 3 days just for shits and giggles.
Well, you have a problem, sir. You're like Buck. You know, Buck is playing 14 different leagues.
Yeah, but like, do you really like? I have like 15 teams on ESPN, but half of them came from when I was taking a shit and I was bored.
No. Bucks in 15 different leagues.
Paying? Like, do you pay for 15 different leagues? Because that's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know, but Bucks told me 15
At
leagues.
that point, you have to own every single player in the league.
Ravens Twitter says Crochet is the number 2 receiver, and they mad because we see Pickens balling and Pitt. I mean, he's not balling. He's not balling yet.
He had a catch.
He's doing good things.
He had a catch to be honest.
Window got it done. Now a flip to McFarland. Following.
He had that. That's so
you
good.
know, like we got to say this about Pickens. The move he makes to get open will now be shown in every single DB room before you play the Steelers. His little move he makes might be over. I hope you enjoyed using your one get out of jail free card in the preseason, but now people will be onto it. But the thing you cannot teach someone to beat is his ability to get behind defenders. His ability to get behind defenders is fucking real. And all you need is somebody to get him the ball. So let's figure that out. And I listened to a segment on the Pat McAfee show today where they were talking about all paid leagues. Buck. That's a lot, brother. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Buck is rolling the money.
Average buy-in? I just need to know the average buy-in.
Yeah, but, Buck is rolling the money.
I think a really interesting thing to look at with the Steelers locker room. Who's the most recent quarterback in that Steelers locker room to have real starting experience in the NFL? It's
Mr. Trubisky. Well, I mean,
no, it's Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph started games last year. Mitchell Trubisky sat behind Josh
Allen. Was a backup. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. I get what you're saying there. Well, before you leave, I'll get into that a little bit right now with the Steelers. You had Mitch going 4 for 7, 63 yards, 1 touchdown. Mason Rudolph 9 for 15, 93 yards, 1 touchdown, and Pickett going 13 for 15, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns. Now, look, I know people like to make fun of the Steelers quarterbacks right now with the meme of the Spider-Man pointing at each other, like it's all the same.
It's not. It's not all the same. But let me tell you something. Kenny Pickett were looking at each other, sure, but Mason Rudolph is Ben Roethlisberger like 0. Like there's Coke 0. I'm not saying he's like 0.
He might be dying. You don't disrespect him and say he's no carbonation. Like that. That's
no. There's carbonation. The Coke Zero's just got no calories.
Not much so.
Not
much. So okay, I would go diet. He's not Coke Zero. I go diet.
In my defense, I see Diet Coke as a weaker product than Coke Zero.
Really?
So in my mind,
I love Diet Coke. I like Diet Coke.
Also, Tiny Hands is gone. It's 2 Glove Ken. 2 Glove Ken.
Hey,
wild.
So I'll tell you this, and I'm going to get more into the quarterbacks. But Mitch got love. Pickett absolutely got all the love. And the Steelers booed the shit out of Mason Rudolph, and I feel so bad for him.
Bro, Kenny Pickett, it was like he came back for high school homecoming. Yeah. Like everyone,
you had Pitt players in it. You had Pitt players. Yeah, you had Pitt players there. Yeah, Mason Rudolph throws a beautiful pass to Pickens, and they boot.
Like I moved out of my dorm from college like 3 weeks ago. Like I've been here.
Yeah,
y'all acted like I left.
Yeah, the Steeler fans really let Mason Rudolph have it. Mitch looked good to me. I like what Mitch was doing. Actually, the offensive line. Even though I believe we were missing a starter or two, I like what the starting line did. I really liked that a lot. And it gave all 3 quarterbacks the ability to really show some stuff. I think right now, if the season starts, you have to go with Mitch, but I'm putting Pickett second. Mason Rudolph's the odd man out right now, and it's weird because he's been, from what I've been hearing, the most consistent in camp. Mitch and Pickett both came off as you heard a lot, and which is really frustrating when you hear all these people talking about it, saying that, Pickett didn't look good. He didn't look like he belonged. Mitch looked.
Who didn't look great?
Who?
Kenneth Walker from the Seahawks. That was
I
was not impressed.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I think
you know who
that
didn't look great. Speaking of quarterbacks, you know who didn't look great in a preseason, who hasn't played in a year. Watson looked bad.
Yo,
Look, and then there was practice videos that came out today.
did you see Stephen A. Smith this morning on First Take?
No, I
They
didn't.
had that motherfucker out on a boat in the middle of Miami Harbor with Molly and Michael Irvin on a boat, like a boat, doing the whole show live from a boat. And he's ripping into Deshaun Watson while on the back of a boat in an orange suit. It was one of the wildest things I'd ever seen on TV. And I just couldn't.
Oh, is that me? Did I lose internet? Let me know in the chat if I lost internet. Chat, did I lose internet? Let me know. Okay. Well, my internet's is struggling too. I don't know what's going on. I paid my bill, so he's back.
You shot my internet, bro.
I do. I keep checking mine because I'm like, oh my god.
No, I have a weird my wired signal is so strong, but I do so much like airdropping of content from my phone to my computer that I just have to have the Wi-Fi on, or else it doesn't work for my Mac. So I just always have it on, even though I know I should have it on wired when I do it. But there's just so many things that can happen in the middle of a show where airdrop is more helpful. But yeah, what were we talking about?
Well, you were talking about how Stephen A. went after.
Oh my god! But just what are we talking? He played so bad, bro. He set it up for everybody. At least be good. I would have. You know what, man? It's one of those things where I rather would have seen footage of him last season, working out at Clemson in the off season, or shit like that. You never saw anything about him working out or staying in shape. Not that you could. I mean, he could probably find 4 receivers to go throw to. But that was probably a weird situation for him. He probably had an easier time finding a massage therapist than he did wide receivers to throw to at an open practice.
I mean, wow. Colin went there. Look, if that's what the Browns
too.
No, I know.
About COVID, where he was like, bro, we're in the middle of COVID, and you went and exposed yourself to 64 different people you met online. That's the basis. And then we can go into the weird shit. That's still a start.
I mean, but the Browns paid all that money for him, and if he is going to play like this, Browns fans are going to go nuts, and we may have to put some watch. We're going to have to do.
Steelers fans, y'all we're good.
We're gonna have to watch out for our Browns fans because
we're good.
They might attempt to hurt. They might attempt to hurt themselves.
We're all good. At least we don't have to deal with that.
Facts.
I would rather deal with not having any wide receivers besides Rashad Bateman than have to deal with what the Browns are dealing with every day. And look, it would be different if he played he didn't play good this first one. There's been videos popping up of him in practice. The practice videos are bad.
They look horrible. Horrible.
They make Browns fans wish they could have a video like Lamar throwing a wobbly pass in first OTAs. Remember that? Lamar threw a wobbly ball in OTAs, and Ravens put it up on Twitter, and everyone was like, "Oh, Lamar's trash. Should have been a running back." I was like, Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson could get away with shooting somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue, and nobody would give a shit.
Wow.
At this point.
Wow. All right. Well, on that note, yeah. Well, before you got to go, Colin, is there anything else? Anything else you got to say?
I don't think so. There wasn't any too big of moves. Seahawks traded for Arcega-Whiteside. That's not really anything. Cam Akers and Henderson not practicing in LA. That's kind of big. But nothing really else.
I mean, Brandon, we know he can play, but good God, he's looked bad.
Yeah, he can play. He can play on his phone. We know that.
Yes, I did say Browns fans.
No, Brown. He meant like one singular Brown. You meant like the Brown.
I mean, there is one Brown fan I'm talking about. Yes, he's streaming on the other channel right now. So yes,
Probably.
I am talking about that person.
Fine. Hey, I think Trey Lance looked pretty good. Not gonna lie.
Okay.
I think that guy's pretty good. And I think all the players around him are also pretty good. So I think the 49ers are unsurprisingly going to be pretty good. The NFC West is gonna be pretty fun. Especially if
I think it's just going to be 49ers.
We still got the Cardinals in there. If the Cardinals can figure it out, they can be exciting and make those and then play they can compete in those shootout games. They have the offensive weapons to compete in those shootouts. I think if they can move, imagine what you could move if you could get something for Jimmy G that could come back and help that 49ers team even more.
I mean, sure. Well, I think Jimmy G's out. If Trey Lance even shows out, I think Jimmy G's out. I think the Browns are looking to try to trade for Jimmy G.
That's what I've heard.
Funny, which is hilarious.
I've heard other people say he should go to the Bucks. Is their after Tom thing? You know, like
that could be a
sure.
thing. Yeah, I mean, we didn't really talk about the Julio going to the Tampa Bay. Like,
it's not really that big of a deal, in my opinion. I
don't think so.
No, I think the best choice you could have with Julio would be to line him up in the situations within the 15-yard line that you would line up Gronk. I think that's where you would see Julio be able to actually make a season-long difference. I don't know if and I'm also thinking about this from like a fantasy football perspective. They now have. You got Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, who was the dude last year that came out of nowhere? There was the guy from the Falcons that's on there now too, Russell Gage. They got like 5 mouths to feed with that receiving core, but all of Gronk's targets are gone. So you can find a way to steal some of those Gronk targets. They could be okay.
You got Chris Godwin, Russell Gage, Mike Evans, Julio Jones, Scott Miller, Tyler Johnson.
Miller. That's what Scotty Miller. Tom likes Scotty Miller. If Tom likes you, you're going to stay on the team. Ask James White.
I mean, that's pretty good. Okay. You know what's fun? You know what's funny? Do you remember Hogan? Where has he been at with the Patriots?
Who?
Like the Steelers made him Hogan. I forgot his first name. He was the wide receiver for the Patriots. Shadow would know because Shadow's a Patriots fan. The Steelers made him look. Yeah, Chris Hogan. They made him look like a Pro Bowler, and then now that guy's just gone.
He is nowhere.
Oh, he retired. Wow.
Yeah, he just got an empty page on NFL.com.
Wow, that's crazy.
Former NFL quarterback, yeah, or former NFL receiver. Yeah, it says former.
Wow, he retired. That is crazy. Yeah.
Well, now he's actually a lacrosse player.
Like 2 years? Okay.
Yeah, so he was.
I just remember he lit us up. I just remember he lit us up.
Player at Monmouth for 3 years while he played football, and in 2021 he played on 2 teams in the Premier Lacrosse League. In 2021, after he was done playing football, he was like, I'm just gonna go play lacrosse."
They might play good. They might play good. Hey, they might play good. They might play good. A couple seasons ago, but I think he got hurt. Okay, so maybe
Panthers signed him in 19, Jets had him in 20, and then the Saints had him in 21, and then he was cut by the Saints. That's great. I don't even think he made it to the. Yeah, he retired in October. He retired mid-season last year.
Oh no, he just popped in my head.
Yeah. Me and my best friend Danny Amendola lives rent free in our head because we used to in high school, but we would just stay up late and have a TV on while we were playing video games. They used to run Hard Knocks, and they would just run the whole season. And I swear to God, Danny Amendola was on every fucking season of Hard Knocks from like 2010 to like 2012. He just somehow ended up on the worst team, and we watched the Cowboys one. Have just been absolutely obsessed with Danny Amendola ever since.
Have you been watching Hard Knocks lately?
I loved it. I watched it last week. I thought it was great. I thought that Aiden Hutchinson was very likable. And that's important to be a number 2 pick and not be boring as hell. And I think he's in the best spot. I don't think he could have gone anywhere else and had as much love and admiration as he's going to probably get for being a Lion. But I enjoyed it. Dan Campbell, holy shit. That dude is intense, very intense, and very large. He's a very big person.
Nothing wrong with being big.
No. I just mean like when you are a presence walking around that field. You know who's not a presence on the football field? Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh. When they walk around, nobody's physically scared of those two men. But if Dan Campbell walked up to you, it was like, hey, you missed that block there. I'd be physically scared that he might
I get what you're saying.
Do it right.
I get what you're saying.
If he grabbed me by the neck, I would feel it. And if he had to like tell me something important that I did wrong, or if he was bad, I would feel a little more scared. I think they look great. I really find myself finding a bunch of Lions, like owning a bunch of Lions in fantasy drafts. When I come out of drafts, I love Swift this year. Swift's on a little like you could get him the year before Kamara popped off, kind of vibe. And I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be ridiculous. He was last year. And they got Jamison Williams, the wide receiver from Alabama that tore his ACL. He's going to come back. And so he'll probably be in like week 8, week 10. But like, shit, win 4 games. And then that's a legit dudes around Jared Goff that really kind of remind me of the younger Rams where it was Todd Gurley and these guys that they were bringing in to pop off. DeAndre Swift is that good. He's that talented that he can produce and take some of that slack off.
What's your over under on the Browns? Or sorry, on the Lions?
I think it's at 4.5. I'd take the over. I think it's been sitting at 4.5. I'd pound that. Easy.
Probably. Make sure if you want to know your gambling degenerates, lunch break hot take, D-Weezy gives you all that info. Maybe I'll have Colin come up with some numbers every once in a while. But D-Weezy.
Yeah, we'll do a weekly parlay. You ride the parlay with me, and we'll ride or die together.
Or maybe I'll tell D-Weezy just to pop in here and give us some parlays.
Let's do it. Yeah, we'll make up a parlay. We'll make up a cool one, figure it out the best way, and ride it out.
There we go.
I'm gonna pop
off
Colin. Like a little spot, and then you can get into some Steelers shit and get all degenerately.
Yeah, man. Before you leave, though, let everybody know where they can find you. Obviously, your links are in the description, but where can everybody find you?
Yeah, you guys can find me wherever Collins are sold at @the_C Morris. I'm currently in Instagram jail until Wednesday. Do not post videos of sports from your TV onto Instagram. They will ban you for 3 days. So that's my words of wisdom to everybody as I head out. You can find all my content over on the College of Charleston Instagrams. Working over there with the volleyball team right now. Can be cool. We got our first games coming up. We got our first soccer game on Saturday. Another video board production for that. So full swing. Back at it. Go Cougs.
Nice. Have a good one, Colin. Have a good night. I will see you next Monday.
See you later.
Talk to you later. All right. Never done a show by myself. It's kind of weird. So yeah. So let's I do not like that. I'm just like the whole thing's on me. I can't even change it. This is pissing me off. God damn it. Nope, can't change any of it. I don't have an overlay. Y'all gotta stare at my ugly face. I apologize. So yeah, the Steelers, they got that win. 32-25. Like I said, I know I'm gonna go back to my bad. Let me go back to his question. Let me find it. There it is. Darius, I apologize. I should answer your question earlier, but I did not see it. Let me find it real quick. There you go. Who do you think is going to get the starting gig, Suge? Mitch or Kenny? I think right now it's Mitch. I think Mitch is going to get the job. He looked good. I like the way he looked. I like the way the line protected for him. Obviously, we didn't have all our starter wide receivers out there. Najee wasn't out there. Again, this is the first preseason game, so you can't really take too much stock into it. But I believe Mitch is going to start. I again say Mason Rudolph is going to be the odd man out, where they might even trade him. There's been talks about that, especially because the Jets quarterback got hurt. And I think a lot of people are sleeping on Mitch. He was the number 2 pick. Yes, you can say all you want that was a mistake, things like that by the Bears. Totally understand. I just think he has an opportunity to play well enough to where he has a team around him. And if he can just show up, throw the ball down the field, and protect the ball and not give up, interceptions, things like that, convert their downs, I think he's going to be in a great spot, and I think he's going to be able to do well. And I think the Steelers are very slept on because of that, because they're returning pretty much the same team as they did last year, with upgrades in the wide receiver core, upgrades in the middle linebacker, and upgrades in the offensive line. So if you take pretty much the same team last year, there was a couple games that we could have won, and could have really, like I said, and people want to make fun of me. I think had we won a couple games last year, the Bengals possibly don't make the playoffs, or they're a wild card team. And yeah, they probably and they may face Kansas City and lose. They might win that game. Who knows? It is what it is. But I think the Steelers would have been in a better position than they were. Had they had a quarterback that was serviceable. As much as Big Ben is a Steeler legend, he wasn't a serviceable quarterback. Sometimes he could be, but he was more of a detriment to the Steelers. Yeah, Mitch is Steelers. Last scoring play was kind of lucky and good to see it was existing play. Yeah, sure. We did upgrade. I feel we did upgrade our wide receiver room. Our cornerback room with who was it? Let me find the name because I forget it all the time. Levy Wallace, I believe, was one of the, and then Edmonds coming back. Sutton has always played well, so I feel like we did pretty good there. So I'm excited for that. I want to bring up this play. Let's watch it.
Offensive coordinator or quarterback for that matter. Here comes the pressure. Mason Rudolph going to go in the end zone looking for George Pickens, and he makes the catch. Does he keep his feet in? Yes, he does.
I loved it. Now, what's funny is go on Twitter. Two of the things you'll see is go on Twitter and look up Kenny Pickett. Pickett. And people are just fans are just trying to roast him. Oh well, he played against the weakest defense and yada yada yada. Yeah, it's his first game in the NFL, man. Let him, want to see if he can handle the speed of the game. Because no matter what you say, even though those guys are not going to make teams, they're still the best in better than the average, better than some college players. So, you wanted to see what he can do in live action. By the second or third preseason game, you're going to really get a feel. And the same thing was about, Pickens, where they're like, well, he's going against backup corners. And no, he was not out of bounds. Get out of here. Toe tap. Crazy. Now, if you're going to say he pushed off, he did kind of push off a little bit. I'll give you that. But, they're saying, oh, well, he's going against backup corners. Okay. Mind you, he's probably going to be the third receiver on our team. Not going to be the number 1, number 2. Unless all of a sudden he just goes crazy this year. Like he just goes nuts. He's probably not going to be, he's probably going to be number 3. Now, if he starts to play and he's showing out, you're like Mr. J say, he might take Claypool's spot. So Claypool needs to show up. Defense doesn't matter if you guys can make that. And that's the thing too. Mason Rudolph threw that ball, and it's a beautiful ball, and Steeler fans are just killing him. Like I could not believe it. Like I understand where people are coming from, and they feel like Mason Rudolph has his opportunity. I'm 50-50 on it. Like I don't think he had an opportunity with starters as much as he could have, and also too, I think they gave too much to Ben to have the opportunity because he, what he's done for the Steelers. but he's getting the short end of the stick here. Like, I really feel bad for him. And Claypool says he was top 3, not top 5. I think he can be, but he has to show up. Like if you're looking at this wide receiver core right now with Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, George Pickens, and you have Austin Miller III, you have Miles Boykins. Another guy I wanted to point out, Gunnar Oswiski. I'm saying that wrong. You guys are going to murder me. But Gunnar, I like what he was doing. I really like what he was doing as like almost like a Beasley type a receiver, Beasley Amendola type receiver. I like what he was doing. So you're talking about that's a deep wide receiver core, young, deep wide receiver core, and that is really nice for the Steelers because we've had deeper wide receivers core. I mean, go back and look. We had at one point Hines Ward, Wallace, Antonio Brown, all these guys on the team at one time. So we've had deep wide receiver cores. But this is one we've had recently, and it's kind of cool to see. Everyone's saying he can't be. I think he can be, but that's just me. His possessions, no ability to separate. I mean, when you're tall, you don't really have to separate. When you can jump, sometimes you don't have to separate. But I understand what you're saying. The competition in his face in college prepped him for facing guys in preseason because it's going to need somebody like Gerald Alexander on him. True. Top wide receivers aren't battling for the position. Which I mean, yeah, you're right. But Pickens is coming in with a lot of hype, a lot of just gall, which I like. We haven't had a receiver like that in a while. Obviously Antonio Brown, even Hines Ward had gall. Like, he had gall. I like that. Say what you want about him, but he had gall. And he's coming in saying like, look, look, I said it on Saturday's stream with Hendo. I said, you guys would take a wide receiver right now that would say, look, I'm here, throw me the ball. I could be that wide receiver. Yeah. Oh, Mike Wallace, Sanders was on the team with Antonio Brown, Hines Ward. That was all on a Super Bowl team. How we didn't win that Super Bowl, let's not talk about it. But yeah, that was a deep wide receiver. That was all on one team. The next year I think Hines had retired. And I don't know if Sanders. I think Sanders left too. At that time. Don't forget Big Nose Anton. I swear he was sort of that good stuff. I think Anton Randall was on that team. I don't remember, but I know Hendo's reminded me that it was Mike Wallace, Sanders, Antonio Brown, Hines Ward. Was Holmes on that team too? 2010 Steelers, I believe. I think Steelers might have had San Antonio Holmes on that team. Emmanuel Sanders, Antonio Brown, Mike Wallace, Hines Ward, Randall L. No. Okay. No, no, he was not on that team. But I mean, at that time you had Mike Wallace, Hines Ward, Randall L., Heath Miller, Emmanuel Sanders, Antonio Brown. Yeah, that was a deep receiver team that we had at that time. I want to see the next preseason game, obviously, to continue growth with Pickens. They announced today that Pickett is taking second team reps. Like I said, Mitch is getting the short end of the stick. He really is. I think you should give him opportunity to compete, and you're really just doing him a disservice. And also, Steeler fans are doing him a disservice. I understand personal things that happen on the field, things like that. Some people talking about the Lions game that he played in, but we drafted him, and he had to sit behind a possible Hall of Famer and never got an opportunity. So, yeah, I don't know, but yeah, Pickett is practicing taking snaps with the second second string squad. In the next game, I would just like to see a continued growth of Mitch. See how long they let him play. Because I'm saying we're only having 3 preseason games actually. So by the Lions, Mitch is probably going to start pretty much a half. Obviously, hopefully Najee's back by then. Then we start to get a feel of the run game. So I want to see that, and I want to see, what our defense is like as far as our corners. I mean, the first game is going to challenge us right away. September 11th, we're playing the Bengals right off the bat. So our defense is really going to be challenged right off the bat. We play the Bengals, the Patriots, the Browns, into the Jets. I can see us at 3-1, but I can also see us at 2-2. So, I want to see what this growth is going to be like over the next 2 preseason games, and see where the Steelers can go from here. I think we're being very slept on. So, I find it interesting that Riddle, Pickett, and Crow led 4-quarter game-winning drives in the first preseason game. How didn't do that too bad? Yeah. I mean, Pickett did good. He's I like Colin was saying, when they announced him to go into the game, it was like, Jesus, this guy is the prom king. Like, they cheered loud as hell from him, and they booed the shit out of Mason Rudolph. It was crazy. When you have the love of the fans, that's just life. I feel bad. Again, I feel bad for Mason, but that's just life. Other than that, yeah, like we said, other than Deshaun Watson not really playing well, Ravens got their win, 21 straight. It's going to be interesting to hear what fans got to say. Obviously, lunch break hot take. I'll be tuning in Wednesday, see what they got to say about that and how they felt about that game. I think fans are going to be really happy, but with all the injuries, who knows? Like I tried to ask Colin about the wide receiver core. It's hard to have a podcast alone, so I commend you. Yeah. I mean, I could talk all day if I really want to. It's nice to have someone to bounce stuff off, but I could talk all day. But I think that Ravens fans, Ravens, they have a little issue right now with the wide receiver core. They have the issue with Lamar Jackson. Go back if you really want to see a fun stream chatter. Go back and watch Hendo Ravens online. We meet him, did a stream on Saturday. It was really fun. We really had a good time. It was a really good time to do with him. I actually really want to do some more with Hendo because that was pretty fun and I had a good time doing it. Go and I was talking about it with him and he made some great points too. And it's going to be interesting see what happens with the Ravens and Steelers this year. Interesting to see what happens with the Browns. Obviously, the Bengals are the number 1 team in the AFC North. You can't take that away from them unless you beat them. So, right now they're the number 1 team. They're the team to beat. But I think the Ravens and Steelers are not far off if things go the way go right for them this way. If there's not injuries, if there's not all the things that went wrong from last year, I really feel that they're both in a good spot. And just call me Homer if you want, but I think they're in a really good spot. I think they've owned the AFC North for so long, you can't really. You can't bet against them sometimes because I really feel like they are to the teams that own the AFC North. So we will see what happens. We will be back next week. Colin will be here for the whole show. And we'll be back next week talking about the preseason games, breaking down any news, things like that happens. You can find me at Suge Knight 323 on TikTok and Twitter. Suge Knight 1323 on Twitch, where I play video games every once in a while. I'm ready to stream tonight. Maybe not Magic. A little tired of Magic right now. Played a lot this week. Maybe play some Skyrim. Maybe some Apex. Who knows? Maybe Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't know. I don't know if we'll have enough time. But I might stream tonight. So if you want to come hang out with me tonight, you can do that. Also, check out my YouTube channel where you're at right now. If you're not following, please hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate you. Like the video, leave a comment, that helps us out. I'm going to be doing some more stuff, trying to collab with more people. Shatter, you want to do something, man? Let me know. We'll do something. We can talk Digimon, Magic, football. I don't care. We'll do whatever. I am going to be doing a interview with a Magic content creator very soon, trying to get that worked out because he lives in Britain, so it's an 8-hour difference. It's hard to do. I am tomorrow. When it drops, I am going to do a reaction to the Cobra Kai trailer because I love that show. And also I know that Legacy came out. I may want to do a thing with that, possibly with Hendo, Bronny, Jose, and talking Legacy. Maybe do it on Lunch Break Hot Tech. Maybe do it on Ravers and Keep. I don't know, but we'll see. And yes, Magic. I love Magic. I hate it's so stupid because I play it and I hate it, but I keep playing it, and my earphones are messed up. Hold up, I gotta fix these first because it's bugging me. Okay. There we go. Nope, still messed up. I don't know why in the middle of the show I did that and they're still messed up. It's gonna piss me off. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so make sure you follow all. You wait till the end. No, I don't know why I did that. Make sure to follow me on all my social medias. They're in the description. Leave a comment and let me know what else you would like to see me talk about, or me and Colin or whoever. I'm gonna try to do more stuff on this channel when I can. Got some big news today, so let's see what happens. Thank you everybody for coming and hanging out. I appreciate all of you. Hope you have a great night. Be safe. Take care. And
you just shook up the world. How's that feel? Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.